Well, Sarah Gray got heartbreaking news when she was pregnant with twins 7 years ago.
But what is remarkable about Sarah's story is how she took a devastating tragedy and turned it into something that has helped and inspired countless people. The story is told in Sarah's book, A Life Everlasting. Here it is, the extraordinary story of one boy's gift to medical science. Sarah Gray, welcome to Live at 4. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So this story begins when you find out you're pregnant with twins.
Yes.
What happened?
So it was 2009. I went in for the first trimester screening, which they normally check for birth defects like Down syndrome. And the doctor said that one of the twins looked healthy, but the other one had a lethal birth defect, unfortunately, called anencephaly. He said that this kind of birth defect cannot be fixed by any medication or any surgery. And I really appreciate that he was able to help us grasp really quickly the gravity of the situation. And that's when we started looking into organ, eye, and tissue donation.
So you continued to, you went full term with the babies.
Yes.
Then what happened?
At delivery, we had two twin boys, Thomas and Callum. Thomas is the one with anencephaly, and he lived for 6 days. We were able to take him home, where he died at home, and we called the organ donation organization, who sent a van to our home. They picked up his body and brought it to the local children's hospital. That's where his organs and tissues were recovered. What I didn't know at the time was that when you look into donating organs or tissues, they don't just take any organs or tissues. You have to fit a certain criteria, which I was surprised. I just thought, oh, my son died. I'm sure, maybe he'll save some lives. What I learned is that he was too small because they have to match the organs from the donor to the recipient. But I said, is there anything else he can donate for? Like research or a study or anything? And he was able to donate to 4 different studies.
And he contributed to some remarkable discoveries.
Yeah, the donation was anonymous, essentially. I did learn the location of each donation. So his corneas went to Harvard, his retinas went to University of Pennsylvania, his liver went to a company called Cytonet in Durham, North Carolina, and his cord blood went to Duke. And I was able to track down every donation. I visited every facility, and I met with every researcher that got his tissues. And I just wanted to know, was this donation worthwhile? Was it even worth doing? What are you doing with this? What does research mean? And I explain more in the book about what exactly we learned, but they were extremely valuable donations. And in fact, the retinas, the woman who received them had been waiting 6 years for a tissue donation like that.
Wow. You say it's a gift to the medical community. This led to research that helping other people live.
It's not just the medical community, it's the people the medical community are helping. For example, his corneas went to Harvard, and they were most likely part of a study that is helping corneal blindness. So they donated umbilical cord blood and put them on wounded corneas to see if they could regrow, because this type of cornea, once the cells are gone, they never come back. But they're learning different therapies to find out if they can make them regrow. And they found that they might be able to regrow. And this study, if it is successful, it could help up to 6 million people with corneal blindness around the world.
What is amazing to me is that in your grief, you were able to think about paying it forward in this way.
That got me through it.
Really?
I had to see something positive coming out of it, and it helped me stop feeling sorry for myself. Of course, I still felt sorry for myself. That's natural, but it helped me to focus on something else and really try to give myself a project to work on.
Now, Callum is how old today? The
He's
surviving
7.
twin, and you have a baby girl as well.
Jocelyn, yes, she's almost 1.
A Life Everlasting is the name of the book. Sarah Gray, the author, book available wherever you buy your books. A remarkable story. Thanks for sharing it with us today.
Thank you so much for being here. Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Karen, as a final check of your forecast when we come back.